So I'm sorry for the internet disconnection. So here now, so we say that the speed is a distance over time. So if I need to describe the speed, I need to measure the distance, and also I need to measure the time. And since it is a rate, so I need a unit. What will be the unit of the speed? We say that it is a distance over time. So the distance, or the unit of the distance, it could be miles, and the unit of the time, it could be hour. So I can say here now the unit of the speed is miles per hour. And also I can say the unit of the distance is kilometer and the time is an hour. And I can say now that the unit will be kilometer per hour. As an example, if you say that I have the tiger as an example, the speed of the tiger, it can moves with 2 miles per 1 hour or 3 kilometers per hour. Or also, if I have talking about the planets that moves is numbers of centimeters per 1 day, so I can say also the unit of the speed is centimeters per day or light years per century. All of these are as a combination of units that used for the speed. Now, look at this picture here. What did you see from this picture? We see a cheetah. This cheetah is the fastest land animal over the world. Now, its speed, sorry, is it can achieve 500 meter over distance less than over 100 meters, and can achieve the peak speeds. Peak, it means that the maximum speed that he can reach it, or it can reach it, as 100 kilometer per hour. Its speed now is 100 kilometer per hour. What does it mean? That's mean here he can move 100 kilometer, the distance is 100 kilometer per 1 hour. Or if I'm asking you, okay, 100 kilometer per hour, so how many kilometers will it move if we have 2 hours now? What will be the distance?
We will say it's 500 meters over 2 hours.
200 kilometers.
If he move, look here, 100 kilometer per 1 hour. What about 2 hours? How many kilometer he will move? Or he will, the distance of him to be
200.
He will still be moving at the
kilometers.
speed of 100, but it will be 200 kilometers per.
Yes. So here, now I'll tell you later on how can you find it by the speed definition. But here by mathematically now, if you know that the rate is 100 kilometer per 1 hour, so for 2 hours you will have cross product 100 multiplied by 2 equal 1 times x, so x will be 200. Here I'm solving it mathematically. Later on I will tell you how to solve it in physics. Now, we will primarily use the unit meters per second. The most common unit of the speed is meter per second. As an example, if the distance of the cheetah is 50 meters and the time covered for this distance is 2 seconds, what will be the speed now?
25 meters per second.
It will be always the speed is the distance
over time,
per time. What is
which
the
is
distance?
50 meters over 2 seconds.
over 2, it will be 20, 25. Now, since the distance is in meter and the time is in second, so I can say that the unit
Meters per second.
meter per second. This is now for this one. Until now, did you have any question?
No.
No. Is everything
teacher.
clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Teacher, you might ask us for the distance, right? And we will make like a mathematical equation.
Sorry?
You might ask us for the time, not the speed, right? So that we will make the speed x and we'll make it like a
Yes,
mathematical.
yeah, later on I will give you another example that I will not ask you to find the speed. You have the speed, you have the time, and I ask you to find the distance. Now, here now some approximate speed in different units. That's mean, as an example, for the very good sprinter, here, its speed is 100. I'm sorry. Is 100 meter per second. If I wanted to convert it to kilometer per hour, I say it is 40 kilometer per hour or 25 miles per hour. For the batted or for tsunami, as an example, its speed is 22 meter per second, 80 kilometer per hour, or you can say also 50 miles per hour. Look at the combination of the units here. Are they different? Yes, here we have
Yeah,
kilometer.
sure.
Here we have kilometer per hour, and here we have mile per hour. Okay. Now, we have two types of speed, the instantaneous speed and the average speed. Let's talk now with an instantaneous speed. Now, all of us know that in the cars, we have this speedometer. For this speedometer, I can read the speed at, as an example, now the time is 11:45. Okay. The time now is 11:45. I just look at my car, at the speedometer of my car. I see now that after I'm looking, I see now that the arrow now is here. What does it mean? That means that my speed now at this instant time, at this time that I'm speaking, is approximately 76 miles per hour. I'm talking about at this instant time. Now the time now is 11:45. I'm looking at my car, at the speedometer of my car. I find that the number of the or the speed, sorry, is 76 miles per hour. Or if you look at the blue numbers here, its unit is kilometer per hour. Or you can say it is at 120 kilometer per hour. So, okay, what is now the instantaneous speed? Now, so as you know, if you look at your father car as an example, or your mother car, and you look at the speedometer of her car, you will find that the car doesn't move at the same speed. It starts with 40 kilometer per hour, then it will go to 60, then it will go to 80. After that, when she goes on an inclined plane, its speed will decrease, so it will be 50, and so on. So all the speed all the time is not the same. It will be changing according to the or during the time. So now, how can I know the speed at the instant time? By looking at the car speedometer. This one, or this speed, we called it an instantaneous speed. This one is at, it's that the from its name, it's named that's its mean. It's the speed at an instant time, at a certain time. But as we said, if I'm asking you now, so okay, what is the car speed? I will tell him that at 11 it is 76, at 12 it is 80, at 13 or 1 p.m. it is 40. At I will describe each minute for him.
No.
How the speed will be? No, I will use something we called it average speed. In the average speed here, like if I go
But
a
teacher,
trip, yes,
can you go back a little? But because I want to, teacher, isn't 50 or 60, 70 this millimeters per hour the speed?
here I mean at 11 o'clock, my speed is 76. At 12 o'clock, my speed is 80 miles per hour.
Oh, okay.
Now, so now, since I cannot drive with the same speed during the trip, so I need another thing that helped me to give me an average speed of my car during this trip. How can I find the average speed? I find now the total distance covered by, divided by the time. As an example, my trip has a distance of 300 kilometer and it takes to me 2 hours. So I can say that in average, my car's speed
Teacher, how can
is,
I know if it takes 2 hours?
it is an example from me.
Oh, okay.
So my speed now, or my average speed, will be 300 kilometer over 2. So I can say now my speed now is 150 kilometer per hour. This is my average speed. What does it mean? That means it's sometimes it could be 150, sometimes it could be 180, sometimes it could be 100. And if I take the average of them, it will be 150. This means the average speed. Or I can say I can find the total distance over the time that I need to cover or to go during my trip. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. Teacher,
Yes.
teacher, can you just repeat the last thing you did?
The average speed, how can you find it?
Yes.
Okay. Here, as an example, yesterday I went to the hypermarket as an example, and the distance from my home to the Carrefour as an example, hypermarket, the distance was 500 kilometer. And then it takes with me like 7 hours. Keep it as 4 hours. Okay. Here now, the distance is 700 kilometer and the time is 4 hours. So how the average speed will be? The average speed is the total distance over the time. What is the total distance here, Yasara? Yes, sir. What is the total distance?
Kilometer.
500 kilometer. Thank you. And what about the time?
4 hours.
4 hours. So that's mean I will divide 500.
So it's 125.
So it will be 125. Now what's the unit? It's kilometer per hour. So my car speed is 125 kilometer per 1 hour. This is the average speed. The instant speed or the instantaneous speed, that's mean I'm measuring my car now at exactly 12 o'clock. Excuse me, girls, I have to go for 1 minute. No. So the average speed can be calculated by this definition. It is the total distance covered over time interval, as we said. Now, that's mean the time interval, that's mean like I started, how I know it takes with me 3 hours? That's mean I started at 1 p.m. and I reached my destination at 4 p.m. So the time now, the time interval will be 3 hours. That's how can I find the time interval by subtracting the time at when I reached my destination from the time that I started, like 4 minus 1 is 3. So the time is 3 hours. This is how can I know the time. And the distance also by measuring. As an example, I know that from my home to the market, I know that it is 50 kilometer. Or by using the map. Or sometimes that's why sometimes he told me that if I using the map on my mobile, and I asked him to or asked her that I want to reach my friend's home. She told me approximately you will reach at 510. 500, sorry, 510. How can she know? She know my speed. She know. As example that I walked 20 kilometer per hour. Let's to make it as 6 speed now. Here I will tell you. Wait, please. Here now, how can the map tell me that if I told her that I want to reach this destination? Here now, I told the map, you know, the Google Map, the application on the mobile, that I want to reach my friend's home, and I am here now. Okay, my home is exit 4, and her home is in exit 8, as an example. After because of the measuring the distance, they know the distance. They know that the distance from my home to her home is 400 kilometer. Okay, and also she knows that my speed is 50 or 60 kilometer per hour. Okay, now here the distance is 400 kilometer, and my speed is 60 kilometer per hour. if I have these two information, she can know at which time I will reach her home. How? Look at how we can apply the physics
You will
in our life.
multiply the time with
Here,
both
we
sides.
know, yeah, see, look here. The speed now, I know it is the distance over time. So, also I can say that the time is the distance over the speed. Okay? Now, the distance is 400 kilometer over the speed is 60. 400 over 60 is 6.6. So what does it mean? That means that the time interval is 6.6 hours. Okay? Now, so how can he tell me that you will reach her home at which time? I start. No, see, here now it can be minute if the unit is 500 meter per minute. But here now, why I say it is hours? Because the unit is kilometer per hour. So the units of time, it must be in hour. Okay. Now after that, the time interval is 6.6 hours. I start to go from my home at 2 p.m. So at which time I will reach her home?
Can you repeat the question?
I'm starting at 2 p.m. I'm going out from my home at 2 p.m. And he told me that the time interval that I need to reach her home is 6 hours or approximately 7 hours. So at which time I will reach her home?
At 9 something.
Yes, I will add 2 plus 7. As an example, this is approximately 7. So at 9 p.m. I will reach her home.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
So that's why on the Google map, sometimes if you look down, it told me that I will reach my destination at 9 p.m. How can she know? By finding the distance, because she knowing the distance, because she knowing my speed, so she calculate how when I will reach my destination. Is it clear?
يعني تيتر راح يحدد الديستانس والتايم بسرعته صح؟
Yes, exactly. Okay, now. Now here, for example, a distance of 240 kilometer during a time of 4 hours. So here, the distance is 240. The time is 4 hours. So how will be the average speed? I will divide 240 by 4, which is 60. Then the unit, what will be the unit? It will be 60 kilometer per hour. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here now, the last thing I want to tell you about it, that the average speed, as we say, it's different than the instantaneous speed, because the average speed is talking about time interval, but the instantaneous speed, I'm talking about instant time, certain time, exactly at which time. But also, they are the same. Why? Because both of them, I'm talking about the rates at which the distance is traveled. Is it clear?
Teacher,
Yes.
instantaneous, does it mean like على عجلة إنه سريع?
No. You mean in Arabic يعني?
Yeah, I translated it means يعني على عجلة.
No. In Arabic, we called it السرعة
اللحظية.
يعني في لحظة معينة.
اوكي. يعني قديش السرعة بلحظة معينة.
بالضبط, exactly. Now, if you know the average speed and you know the time and the travel time here, if you know the average speed and if you know the time, you can find the distance. So here in the I'm sorry, I clean it. In the previous one, I have the distance, I have the speed. I can find how many hours did I need. I remember 6.6 hours to reach my destination. And also sometimes I can have the time, I can have the speed. Like I know that I need as an example here, if the average speed is 80 kilometer per hour and my trip is 4 hours, the duration of my trip is 4 hours. How can I know how many distance will I move? By using this definition. I know that the speed is the distance over time. Then, so how can I find the distance? By multiplying them. So the distance
Equal the speed times the travel time.
times the time, as he said here. So if I have now the time is 4 and the speed is 80, so how will be the distance? Up here you have to know that if I have the unit is kilometer per hour and the time is an hour, so what's the unit will be of the what's the unit of the distance? What the unit of the distance will be?
Kilometers.
It will be in kilometers, yes. So now the distance will be 320 kilometers. Okay. By now, did you have any question?
No.
No.
Maya? Maya, Habiba, Sarah, the others, please tell me, do you have any question?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
teacher.
Okay, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.